Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ready, Set, Pop. My name is Mariel Basori, greeting you from Mexico City, and I'm here with two of the most amazing in the world, Mauricio Sierra from Colombia and Lucas Apache from Brazil. How are
From the
you
hot
guys?
Brazil. Hey
From hot
guys.
Brazil.
Hello, guys. How are you today?
Excited and
Yeah,
happy because guess what? Today is the last episode of season one. I can't believe how time flies, everybody.
me
Can you
too.
believe it?
It's
Yeah,
very
it's true.
special. We have a lot to remember and talk and ask. And ask
Yes,
no, and answer. Sorry, and
an
answer.
An
answer.
answer, yeah.
Yes. This is going to be really funny because we all in our personal accounts plus the Ready Set Pop account, we ask you to ask us what do you want to know about each one of us or as a group or of the podcast, and we've been getting a lot of questions um in our separate accounts and in the Ready Set Pop account. So thank you so much for those who've been sending your questions. We will gladly answer them to you. So it's time to begin, and I would like to start with Mao. What question do you have first? We're going to answer like one because we don't want to make this like harder for each one of us. So it's going to be one. Okay?
Yeah. Mal,
Okay.
if you don't mind, I think I have one question that is kind of perfect for us to start, if you allowed me.
Okay, no, it's
Because
okay. Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Juan.
yeah, someone asked us how was the day that we met, like that we met each other. So I think this should be the
Oh,
first, and it's
Okay.
kind of hard actually to answer this because I knew Marielle because of her blog. So I remember that I was always in her blog, and I think there was a section, and sometimes I was posting there and asking her for albums. But I checked my Facebook, Marielle, and the first time that we actually talked to each other was in 2013, 10 years ago. Yeah,
dang.
it was
Oh,
March. Yeah, and you are the one who say hi. You said, "Oh, I saw that you posted something about Willa Ford. I really like her too, and I'm sharing her album. So I hope you enjoy it and things like this." I say, "Oh, thank you. I love your blog. I'm always on your blog." So it was our first interaction 10 years
I
ago.
didn't know. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
me
But
neither. I just
I'm
checked.
pretty sure we've been friends for longer because from Last FM.
Yeah,
Probably not talking, but
yeah,
yes, interacting, like seeing each other's profiles.
but
So
always there.
always there. So
Yeah.
yes, it's
And
been
Mal
beautiful.
for me was in the interview that we mentioned with Marielle. She was doing so many interviews on YouTube live, and Mal was one of them. And I remember watching. I wanted to now that this is special. I'm almost emotional because when I was watching, I was really wanted to be doing this that we are doing now because you guys were
uh,
talking, and I and for me felt that I could be part of the conversation. I was like in the comment section all the time, like commenting because I don't know, I wanted to be there talking to both of you, and now we are here, so this is very cool.
yeah, very cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Mao, what memories do you have from the day we've met? Because we have met you in person, both Lucas and I. So well, we've had
Yeah.
the chance to meet each other, and we are planning, yay, hopefully next year these two will come to
Yeah.
Mexico and we will make very special episodes for you guys. Yay.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's very special for me because I'm the one that met you in person. So I'm going to talk about like these 2 days when I met you
In person.
guys yeah, in person. So with Mariel, that was the person that I met first. I remember in the time I was like flying again and working as a flight attendant again because of the pandemic. I was like in earth, like I was not flying. So finally, when I got the opportunity to get back to my work, thank you God, I was requesting so much the flight to Mexico to meet Mariel. So at the end of the year 2021. I request the flight and I had the opportunity to go actually with my brother because they're in my company. They make like I don't know how to say it in English, like a sorteo. It's in Spanish, like
It's
do,
dang.
do you know the word?
I don't know either.
Okay,
Well, yeah.
okay. Well, they put some tickets available like for employees or something like
Yeah,
that, and I won this ticket for
it's
my
like a lucky
brother.
game. Yes,
Yes,
you.
yes, something like that. Yes, yes, friend. Thank you. And I was flying to Mexico, and I remember that I was texting with Mariel, and she was very kind. Like, what kind of food do you like, and what is your favorite food from Mexico? And I was like, oh, I love cochinita pibil. So she was like, okay, okay, taking notes, and it was actually January 1st of 2000 of yes 2022,
2022.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. So I went to her house, and it was a very special moment because I was received by her and her family and her parents that I really, really appreciate too, and her husband, Rudy. So it was a very, and of course, Edel. And it was a very special moment because finally we had the this moment of talking and laughing, and this is the kind of things that you are like you think like you know this person like forever, like we were talking and there was a moment, it was a moment like we were like I was looking her collection, and it was very special because I took the time to see every city. It was very it was very special. It was very special, and of course I enjoyed so much the food. Actually, I was like very ashamed because I eat so much, and and
You do.
and me,
You do.
yes, yes, you,
Yes.
you know it. And Miss Carmen, the mother of Mario, was like, "Do you want more, Mao?" And I was like, "Okay, okay, okay, I want more."
Yeah. Well, whenever you guys, now that you come, Lucas, and you meet my mom, she will always be like, "I will give you more. You look starving."
Yeah.
So she's like always serving you, and you're like, "Mom, stop it! No, 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 no,
Oh
no.
my
You look
god! And I
starving."
eat
So,
so little.
oh no,
Yes,
darling. So
yes.
please be prepared to meet my mom because she's always like,
Yeah,
"No, you look
Yes.
starving."
I gotta be prepared for that.
So she's going to
Make a
serve and
space in
serve.
your stomach, friend. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes, yes. It was very, very special for me, and
Mm,
talking with your parents, Mariel, and with your husband, it was really, really
thank you.
special
No, yeah.
for me, and experimenting this kind of I don't know, like cultural exchange, because it was the first time for me. Like because of my work, I have the opportunity to go to different places, but no, living with people in the country. So this was like my first time, living with Mexican people in the real life. Like real Mexican people.
That's
So it
what's
was very special.
that's what's all about meeting someone in a country. You can get the whole experience of
The whole
their culture.
experience.
So
Yes,
yes.
Yeah,
yes, totally.
that's amazing.
And the day when I met my boy Lucas, it was in Sao Paulo. I actually the hotel where that I stay when I have to go for work, because it was for work too. It's very far from Sao Paulo. It's in a place called Guarulhos. And you know that Lucas lives in Sorocaba, that it was like the point of encounter was in
Yeah,
Sao Paulo.
São Paulo is in the
So
middle. Yes.
Sao Paulo is in the middle, yes. So I was like taking the train and going there, and I was like waiting for him, like, and he was like, "Okay, I'm coming," and I was like trying to get a Wi-Fi internet because I didn't have the network right there, and the data, and I finally he was there. He told me that I'm in the. It was like that, my friend. I'm in the hotel. Yes, I'm in the hostel,
Yeah.
and I was walking to the hostel, and it was like instant love, like with Mariel, like we were hugging each other. Finally, this
Yes.
is a great moment. So it was very, very special. And this day we shared a lot of things because, for sometimes when you met people that like the same kind of music that you like, it's always about that. Like you sit down and talking about music and that's all. But
Sure.
with Luquitas was like we were talking about everything, about life, about love, about our lives, a lot of things. So it was
Yeah.
he invited me in the morning, a very delicious thing. It was very yummy. I remember that. And we were in the mall, and then when we were like in a very beautiful restaurant. I remember that having the lunch, and we were
Yeah.
talking all the time, talking like the subject never ends in that day. Like we were talking about the different kind of things like
Yeah.
music and as I told you, life and stuff like that. So it
Yeah.
was for me was very exhausting because I had to come back to Guarulhos again, and the next day I had to wake up very early, so it was like very exhausting, but of course it was worth it because I
Oh,
was with with
yes.
with, with my boy all the time, with my
Yeah.
boy Lukita. So it
It
was
was an
like
amazing
very
day. Yeah.
special.
And that's how
Yeah.
I know that Mao can eat a lot because I don't eat a lot. And the restaurant was very good, but with full of food, like on the plate. And he ate his food, and I barely touched mine. And he was like, yeah, I was like, you want to taste it? And he was like, okay, okay. So at the end of this, he enjoyed my meal too. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you can eat, please. I just can't. And I was like,
Yes,
okay, you can eat,
yes,
boy.
yes,
Okay. You have
yes.
to get ready, Lucas, because I eat a lot too. You wouldn't believe
Okay,
it, but I eat a lot. So
I'll be
Yes.
prepared. Okay.
my dad always says, please tell someone from the government to take care of you because you eat a lot. So
Yeah. You're starving. Oh my God.
yes. So well, yes, that's our story of how we all met, and now it's time for Lucas and I to meet personally.
Yeah,
And
so we can
wait,
have more stars.
yes,
Yes, for
so
sure.
Yes.
it's in our plans of 2024 for the three of
It
us to
is.
get united here in Mexico. So stay tuned
Yes.
because it's going to be fun. We're going to do a lot of
Yes.
fun stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so now moving on, Mao. That was Lucas' question. So Mao, want to move on?
Yes, yes, perfect, Mario. Thank you. The first question for me is, do you have a couple? Do they like the music you like? Do they support you with your collection?
Oh,
Mariel.
Well, yes, I'm married. I've been married for almost 6 years. This Saturday I turned 6 years. So
yo,
um,
congrats.
thank you. My husband is 13 years older than I am. So our musical taste is very different. I have to be really honest because he grew up in the 90s. In the 80s and 90s, he was, living the whole music explosion of, that era, but he's more into rock music. But he definitely supports me. He says that he this is not the kind of music that he likes, but every time I play it, he's like, okay, just so I can know a little bit more about you. And he's very, very supportive. He goes with me through to concerts, and he's always there. And well, he's very supportive in that way. But we definitely don't share the same musical taste. That's for sure.
Oh.
Okay. What about you, Luquitas?
Oh yes, I have a boyfriend slash husband slash fiance because we don't know anymore what we are because we
Okay.
live together. Yeah, we've been together for almost 10 years now. We are our 10th anniversary would be next year in March, and he loves music too, but is not in the same way that we do. Like he listened to the music at the shower or at the gym, and it's kind of similar. Like he do likes a lot of Christina Aguilera, Miley Cyrus, Jessie J. He listen a lot Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, and Brandy Carlisle. He really likes her. So yeah, it's kind of similar. And with my collection, he's very supportive. Like once he made a trip to Canada that I was not able to go because I was in the college at the time, and he brought me a lot of CDs, and it was very it was very sweet, to be honest, because when I got in his room, back then we were not living together, there was like a heart made with CDs at the bed. It was like, oh my god, this is perfect. CDs and
Yeah, yeah.
romance. Okay, I mean, so it was very cool. So he's very supportive. Yes,
That's great. What's his name?
Marcos.
Marcos. Okay, good. And Mao? Well,
Well, I'm happily single. And well, talking about this, I can talk about the a guy that I used to date for maybe a long time, almost a year. Because I don't have a couple right now. So it do they like the music that you like? Okay, he likes almost the same music, and it was sometimes a problem. It's funny, but yes, I think, and now I think it's better that the other person doesn't like the music, or I don't know, because for example, sometimes we had like silly discussions about it, like who is better, Mariah is better, Whitney is better. He's a
Yeah.
very huge fan of Mariah Carey, so the conversations were like by myself, it was like Whitney's better, and he was like Mariah is better. It was silly, so
Yeah.
right now I think different, like it's not like who is better, it's like enjoying the music.
Yeah.
But I have to be very fair, and he was very supportive with my collection. He gave me a lot of things by Estacio Rico, a lot. He likes Estacio Rico too. He was with me in the Reunite concert with Stacy and Rachel, and he took a lot of photos. He was very supportive. He was very supportive. Actually, in that moment when I knew about the concert, he was like, we have to go," and I was like, "Oh, you want to go with
Oh,
me?"
that's
And he
cool.
was like, "Of course, I want to go with you," and he enjoyed so much the concert. So he was very supportive, but it's funny because we shared the same taste in music, but it was like more like a problem than a positive thing. So yes,
But friend, the problem is not liking the same. The problem is the way that the people respond.
yes,
Because sometimes
yes,
you
yes,
can
friend,
date
yes,
someone
friend,
that
yes.
loves rock music and is the opposite of what you're listening, and he would be like, "Oh, rock music is the only music that matters. Your music is trash," and something like this.
Yes,
So
friend, you're
after all,
right.
it's about the person, I think.
yes.
Yes, 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 yes. And it was not only him, it was me, like taking
Mm-hmm.
very personally. It was silly, but okay, we learned a lot about
Yeah,
that.
you
So
learn for sure.
yes, yes, yes. It's
Okay,
about
so
maturity, I
forget
think.
about the X. Let's move on for the next
Let's
question.
move on. Yes.
But actually, we have a good relationship right now. Like we talk each other. Like it's cool. It's cool. Actually,
Okay.
maybe he's one of the guests for the next season. I don't know. So because he
Ooh.
he
Oh,
loves Mariah Carey, and he got a huge collection of Mariah Carey. So it would be interesting to have him.
I would love to see that. Definitely.
Yes,
Okay,
Okay.
me too.
yes.
Next question. Who is the most moody or temperamental?
You, Marielle, for sure.
I am
What
not true.
Of course you
do
are.
you think? What do
Okay,
you
I will
think, mi
explain.
Mariel?
In my opinion, is Marielle. I think she. I how can I say that? I think your eyes talk a lot. Maybe you are not speaking, but we can see a little bit of your
Yeah.
thoughts in your eyes, and I know that you have a lot going on. Like you have your daughter, you have your family, you have work, and sometimes you need to breathe and like, okay, I'll be focusing in our podcast now, but I know that sometimes it's an effort for you. So sometimes you are not in the mood, and sometimes I think your eyes are saying things that you are not. So that's the reason.
I've been told that. Yeah. Do
Okay.
you agree, Mao?
Well, yes, but at the same time, like I think like Lucas perceive people in a different way than me,
Yeah.
and I know you in person. And talking about, I wouldn't say temperamental or moody. I think that you're, and not it's not about like you are a woman. It's not like that. It's like you are maybe you are like emotional sometimes, but not in a bad way, like crying, and no, no, not like that. It's like you express your feelings in a different way.
I agree. I can say
Yes.
more.
Are you agree?
Yeah, I know.
You
I
agree?
know. I know.
You
I
are
know
the one
because
for
you
you?
two are like so calm and always like, "Oh, let's have fun. Let's do this and do that." And I'm always like in a rush, like, come on," because my life is a mess sometimes with my daughter and my house, and I have to take care of my job and stuff. So, sometimes I'm
Yeah.
really, really tired, but I'm here with all the joy and pleasure that pop music brings to my life, and that you two are
Yeah.
like some kind of pedestal for me to help me. So,
Oh,
yes,
great. That's great. We help
Yes.
each other.
yes,
And we
Yes.
had some sentimental and emotional and very personal moments in the first
yes.
season that is actually good. It's not a bad thing at all.
No, definitely.
It's not a bad thing at
And
all.
that's
No,
why
no,
we're
no.
Yeah.
friends to support each other. So, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Yes.
Okay. So next
Okay. So
question, Lucas.
n- uh, this question is how your love for pop music started. Okay. I think for me, it all started with the Brazilian singers that were made for kids, like Xuxa, Angelica, Eliana, Sandy Jr., that were singers at a very young age. But I think it started for real with the Backstreet Boys, the Spice Girls, and Thalia, all at the same time. I was obsessed with MTV. I wanted to know everything. So I think it was around 96 when I was 6 years old because of them. And about you guys?
Well, I think I always love pop music. Like I mentioned in one of the episodes, my cousins were involved in that. So because my cousin Jerry was listening a lot of different kind of pop music in that 90s decade, like Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, and yes, it was different kind of genres, but at the same time it was pop. And then when Britney Spears came out, for example, I liked it so much. I liked her so much. And of course, Christina Aguilera and Jessica Simpson and stuff like that. So I think it was in 2001 when I started like loving uh, pop music,
Yeah.
this kind of pop music, like very bubblegum. And yes, it was like, but it was like from the time that I was like a kid, like in the 90s, with that influence. And then because of this artist, and of course the Stacey Rico
Yeah.
came after, yes. But
In
yes, it was like
2001
from that
became
time
official. You were a
it
pop
became
lover.
official.
Okay.
Yes, yes, I think that yes.
Yeah.
What about you,
Marielle.
Maria?
Um, from a very young age too, because my dad used to play a lot of music. And one of the albums that he used to play constantly in the car was Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. So that album is completely pop music. So since then, I remember like asking my dad, put that record on, the one that says like because I didn't know what the name of the song was because I
Mhm.
was like 4 or 5 years old. So he played it a lot, a lot, a lot, and that's how I got involved in pop music. And obviously, like Lucas said, when Spice Girls came, and other Mexican artists like Jeans or Gaba or OV7 were at their peak. Uh, I was like 8, 10 probably. So I got so much into pop music, and obviously when Britney came out, it was like the best thing for me to happen. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's. But when I was like this big, uh, is when I began to love pop music. Yes,
Great.
Mao. Next question.
Okay, next question. Do you have any favorite Mexican telenovela? And for kids, teenagers, and
Of
adults.
course.
Well, I I love telenovelas actually. I love Mexican telenovelas. I love, what is my favorite? Oh gosh, it's difficult. From Mexico, I think it's Marimar is one of my favorites. La Usurpadora too. For adults, for teenagers, I think it's a Rebelde, because I enjoy it so much, and I watched at the time the whole telenovela. And for kids, when I was a kid, I remember Carita de Ángel. Carita de Ángel. La
Me
de Ángel,
llaman.
sonrisa de Cristo. Yes. It
Yeah,
was,
I remember that one.
yes, yes, yes. Carita de Ángel. Yes, yes, I remember. Or Gotita de
Oh
Amor.
yes.
Yes, it was. Yes, yes, yes. Carita de Ángel, Gotita de Amor, and yes, those were my favorites.
Great.
What about you, my boy Luquitas?
Uh, well, I don't think I watched so many, but uh, here in Brazil was Maria do Bairro,
Yeah,
Thalia.
mucha honra.
Uh, yeah, yeah. It was the first one that I watched.
Mm.
I was really young. I watched it with my mom, and then I watched all the Marias, but this one for me is the best.
Mhm.
For teenagers, I think I only watched Rebelde. To be honest, I remember seeing a little bit of the A Mil por Hora,
Mhm.
uh, a little bit, but I didn't watch the whole thing. So Rebelde, and for kids, I really like it. El Diario de
Oh
Daniela, O
yes.
Diário de Daniela,
You
de
Yes,
won.
Daniela
se han
Novaes.
You won me that one.
escrito tantas cosas, sus secretos
Yeah, this was
escondidos.
my favorite. It was very sad because her friend died. I remember this. Like the girl, the car hit it. The girl, and she became a ghost or something. I think it was kind
I
of.
don't remember that.
I was. I was
No,
very
I don't
impressed
remember
by
that
that. I was like, oh my god,
either.
she's a kid and she's dying.
I
She
don't
has my
remember that.
age. That's very weird. But I didn't like that one. And you, Mariel,
Um,
you live in Mexico, so you know all the
You have a
telenovelas.
lot,
I have a lot
yes.
of favorites, but children's telenovelas. I think it would be the El Diario de Daniela. It was fun, and it was when I was 8. So yeah, obviously all kids could relate to that
Yeah.
series. And teenage, there was El Juego de la Vida and Locura de
Nice.
Amor. Those two were my personal favorites. And like
The soundtrack was Enloquéceme, right?
yes, from OV7. Yes.
Yes, yes.
And
And the other one, Twister.
Twister, yes, from Brazil.
Okay.
Mhm. So adults, I love Ruby. I love
Ah,
there's one with
I'm watching Ruby
I
right
love
now,
it.
actually.
I love one with Gabriela Spanik called Por tu Amor. Piel de Otoño. I mean, there's like a bunch of telenovelas that I love. But yes, if you guys haven't watched any telenovelas, please make yourself a favor. And obviously the ones from Thalia. So
Yes.
Yes, of course.
great.
It's funny because we all three love telenovelas.
Yes. Yes. And the same Thalia ones. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For next question.
It's your turn?
Yes. For each one, what artist or subject you consider was difficult to talk about during the podcast? Lucas.
For me, it's easy. The cringe. Because at first, I gotta be honest, I was not sure about this episode. I was very scary. I was thinking, I don't know if I want to spend 1 hour talking about things that I don't like. I don't want to bring this energy to the podcast. I don't know. I was very confusing and trying to bring the best for this. But after all, it was so fun. We laughed so much.
Yes.
And I did enjoy it. But at first, I was struggling with the team. I was like thinking and rethinking what should I talk, but came out very natural after all, so that's okay. But this one was my personal trouble, let's say this.
Yeah. Mao?
For me, was the underrated girls, because in that moment I was not talking about any R&B artists, so I had to do my research to talk about these girls that I didn't know very well, like Tonja and Willa, I think. So for you was easy because in your case, Michaela or Joey Enriquez, you know them very
Yeah.
well. But for me, was like, okay, I have to do my research very well like to give a proper information. So yes, it was very difficult, but of course I enjoyed it so much and I learned so much. And actually, it became one of the best episodes for us because it's one of
The most
has a lot
viewed.
of views.
Yes.
Yes, it was like crazy. So yeah, I enjoyed it so much, but it was very hard at the beginning because I
Was
was
a
like
challenge.
reading a
Yeah.
lot.
Yes.
Yes. What about you, mi
For
Mariel?
me, I think it was the ranking on
Underrated.
unreleased
Yes.
albums.
Unreleased.
Yes,
Unreleased. Okay.
because I wasn't really sure how people was going to react to albums that were actually never out officially. So I'm like, okay, I know these songs, and Lucas knows his songs, and Mal knows his songs. But what about
Yeah.
our viewers out there? Do they know what are we talking about? Have they listened to this material so we can all, share something? So that one for me was uh, a little difficult.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Next question, Lucas.
Okay. So this is like personal for each one of us. Like from what moment we realized that we start to loving our um, expertise. Let's say this. Like for me, the pop rock. For Mal, the R&B, and for Marielle, the underground pop. I think the pop rock came to me honestly with Michelle Branch because when I was like really young, I was super into pop music and music for kids. There was one track or another that was more pop rock or even rock music that I like it, like Aerosmith and things like this, Blink 182. But the moment that I I saw Michelle Branch on MTV and everywhere, it was like a click, and it was very easy to become my thing because the music was turning into that at that moment. So Avril Lavigne, Ryan Cabrera, all the singers that were emerging at the time sounded like that. So I think it was 2002, the year that became a thing for me for sure. And for you, Mal.
Oh, for me, I think it was like from the moment that I remember the first time I listened to "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston. I was like, oh my God, what a voice. And I was like, for, like, and then I never heard the song again. And in 1998, when The Boy's Mind was released, I was like singing all the time. It was very funny because I was like, The Boy is Mine all the time. I was 8. And then when Destiny's Child released Survivor, I was like, oh, okay, I love it. I love it. And actually, when the Boys Mind was released, I didn't know the singers, in that moment in 2001 when Survivor, I think, oh, this song, The Boys Mind, is by Destiny Child too, because I perceived the songs like similar. I didn't know at that time this was R&B music, but I perceived like the difference between the pop and this other genre. When
Yeah.
I was in high school, I remember I was listening to the radio and Killing Me Softly by the Fugees started playing, I was like, oh my God, I love this. What is this? I have to look more about it. And
Yeah.
actually, it was like a coincidence because out of nowhere, my one of my cousins get into my room and said like, she's Lauryn Hill. And I was like, I knew about Lauryn Hill because Stacey Rico, Lauryn Hill was the Stacey Rico idol. So I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know. So from that moment, I started loving R&B music, and then everything came. Like
Yeah.
I think you are agree because you listen a song and everything is
Yeah.
about that. So then Mary J. Blige, then
Yeah.
Mariah
It's an
Carey, then
avalanche. Yeah.
Brandy.
Yes.
Yes,
For
yes.
me.
Then Usher, Neo, and all, I was receiving all of this music at that time. So R. Kelly. So yes, yes, it was like that for me. What about you, my girl, mi Mariel?
The first time I got into underground, music was 2003, 2002, 2003, when I started, discovering artists through Amazon that were giving you recommendations of other albums. And so all of a sudden, Brooke Allison pops as a recommendation. And so I started playing the samples, and I started doing some research. Back in the day. The internet was so slow, so it wasn't as easy as it is now. But I had the chance to find some information, and that's how I got into underground music. Brooke Allison, Michaela, um, Casey, Amanda, and all the others. I was really happy to discover artists that weren't so popular and that had great music.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was how.
amazing.
Whose question is now? Luke. No,
I think
no.
it's Mal.
Yes, it's me. Yes. If you would have the chance to sing with any artist, who would it be and what song?
Sing away.
Um, yes, singing with.
Dang.
Mm, you have
Okay.
your answers, guys?
For me, there's so many
Yes.
It's easy.
answers that I can
Yes.
give.
Okay.
Of
Yes.
course, Michelle Branch. But actually, when there was a time that every time that I listened to the Jennifer Page and Nick Carter song, "Beautiful Lie," that I love, I imagine me and Vanessa making a duet of this. I
Oh,
don't know why.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the concerts that I was doing at my shower back then, in my mind, that was me and Vanessa. So I'll go with Vanessa, yes.
Okay. Okay. What about
Well,
you,
I can
Mariel?
choose Mariah because my voice is so bad comparing to hers. So, if I could choose
No, but
one, I think it would be Joy Enriquez and Tell Me How You Feel, for sure, because that's my favorite song in the world. And Joy
Yeah.
is Latina. So, I think it would be amazing to sing that song that means so much to me with her. And you,
Yeah.
Mau?
okay.
And you,
Yes.
Mal?
Yes. For me, maybe it would be a Stacy or Rico, but I talking about like in the case of Luquillas, talk about his experience. I when I the first time I listened to Smooth by Rob Thomas and
Okay.
Santana, I was dreaming about being Rob Thomas, like me singing
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Santana that song. So
Mm-hmm.
so in my head it was like I was singing the song like not the ocean. Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Okay. So
You
yes, I
you
go
owned
with
the song at
Santana.
the time. That's
Yes,
amazing.
yes. So
Yes.
I go with Santana and this song is smooth. And actually I'm still dreaming about it. Like one day singing this song is very powerful and
You
it's one of
never
my
know. One of these
favorite
days
songs
you
Yeah.
of all
can
time.
meet Santana
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. I love the song, Mal. Yes. So
Imagine
good.
that, guys.
Interesting,
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
Great answer, guys. Next, what is your favorite episode of the podcast? I love that one because we have so many.
Mm, yes.
Yeah. For me, it's the underrated girls because I had a feeling that our audience would connect with us
Yeah.
through those girls that we love so much, and actually happens. I consider this our most viewed episode because actually the most viewed is the first, and I think that people who discover us, I don't know, started for the track one, but that doesn't mean that is the best because actually it was not like the sound was weird, the microphones was and we were improving. So for me, is the underrated because there was so many people sharing in the comments and asking us for do more. I think it was special, and for us to talk about those girls was very special too. Yes.
Oh, I agree with Luquitas. I love that episode so much. I think for us it was like going in a different level. So like we explode with that episode. It was very cool for people like, and it was very special at the same time because, for example, when I was not doing this podcast, for example, I always dream about like any podcast or any show in YouTube mention people that I love.
Yeah.
And I think with that episode we talk about different kind of people that the audience love, and never these people
Yeah.
is never mentioned in other channels.
Yes.
For example, Joy
Yeah.
Enriquez, or it's not easy to find this kind of girls mentioned in the in other channels. Michaela. So it was very good, and I would say like the Princess of R&B was very special for me, and it was a very good episode too, and I had the opportunity to talk about that more. So yes,
Yeah.
it was very fun. What about you,
think
mi Mariel?
that every episode has a special something, but my two personal favorites is the pop stars one because that's a topic that I really do love. You know how much I love pop stars, the show, and the latest episode we did about our collection. That's my favorite because I love seeing how we all connect through music, the experiences we share with our albums, the stories behind them. So for me, that
Yeah.
episode was very special.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, totally. I
Yes.
agree.
Now,
Yeah.
Luquitas, next.
Okay. Um, Next question is, what was the most challenging thing during this podcast? I think for me is, I think you guys will agree, is the platform to do this, because we struggle a lot to find one, and when we did not always work it perfectly, and we are all in different countries, different connections, different telephones, different everything.
Yes,
So it was kind of hard to get in a rhythm, sorry, and do this like very easily, like we are doing in this episode. Thanks God.
Thank
So I
God.
think this was the biggest challenge for us.
agree. I think finding the right platform and sometimes, like having to fight with this, like there's there's this episode that we did like 3 times because we couldn't hear each other, or maybe some couldn't see, or like it was a mess. So we have to do the episode
Yeah,
all over again. So yeah,
we had to discover like little things, like when Marielle puts her microphone on mute, we can listen to Mao, and things like this and everything. Now we don't have those issues
no,
anymore, so it's a good thing, but we had a lot of challenges,
definitely.
yes, to make this
Yeah.
happen.
What do you think?
Yes, yes. It's the same for me. Yes, the platform was a challenge like to find, because you remember, guys, we start with a different platform, and but this platform only work in laptops or
Yeah,
computers, so it
computers.
was better for us to record in our cell phones. So it was like, okay, do it this, and of course, we were looking for a good quality platform, because at first we were thinking about doing like a video call or something like that, but it was like no so good for the podcast. So we had to make like a research to find a right platform. So we did it at the end of the day. So yes, it was the difficult
No, well,
part.
it's
Yeah,
working, and now
totally.
it's
It's working.
20
Now it's
episodes.
good.
I mean,
Now it's
come
really
on.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Let's not talk
yeah.
much about this. It's working. It's
Move
working.
on,
Move
move
on.
on.
It's working. Yes, yes, it's working.
Mao,
Yeah.
next question.
Okay, any artist that because of their behavior you stop listening to their
Yes.
music?
Um,
Okay, for me is R. Kelly. I used to love R. Kelly so much. He was musical. He was an influence for me in a lot of ways, like in his music, in his I consider he's a genius. I'm not talking about his life, musical. But when all the things came out, like his behavior, it was like very like I don't want to listen so much this guy anymore. There are a lot of songs that are part of my life, like I Believe I Can Fly. It seems to be ready. A lot of songs, but I stopped listening too
Yes,
much. R. Kelly, yes.
I understand.
What about you, Luquitas?
No, there's
You
no,
don't have one?
no,
No,
never
no.
happened. No, no.
Oh,
There's so
okay,
many
okay.
artists that I do not agree with things like R. Kelly, for example, Chris Brown for sure. But I believe that art sometimes is beyond those things. Of course, I'm not a huge fan of Chris Brown. I'm not going to concerts. I don't follow him on internet. I'm not praising him everywhere. But for example, his song "Crawl" is a song that I really love and is part of a super deep and intense moment of my life that for me that's the meaning. Doesn't matter who's singing, so I will never stop to listen to the track. um I don't know, so far no one causes me that, but who knows. But for me it's no.
Okay. What about you, mi
Miley
Mariel?
Cyrus for sure. Mhm. Because I
Okay.
I did used to listen to her music, especially her first two albums, and I found she had talent, and I found her like different because she has a very special voice. But when she did that performance with Robin Thicke at the VMAs and she released the We Can't Stop music video, I was like, oh my God, what is this woman? So for me, it was like, I found it disgusting, to be honest. I mean, so since then, I know she has been releasing a lot of songs, but I just can't listen to them. I can't.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Sam Smith, for sure. For sure. No, I
Mm,
used to. I mean, I can
okay.
listen to. I know I'm not the only one. That song in particular, I can listen to it without problem. But his recent behavior in his shows and being so, like what's the word? Um, obscene. I don't find it appealing.
Okay.
So it's like I put a wall. Like no, no more. That's how it works for
Okay.
me. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah. I understand. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
next. Um,
Who's
me,
next? I'm
me.
lost. Okay.
Do you feel you've done a good contribution with the podcast? Do people let you know about it? Yes.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
so. Yeah, we are talking about things that we love, uh, things that we know and we don't know. We are trying to know to talk like very correctly for everyone, and the people who watch it us is always saying that we are doing great. That oh, I didn't know about this, I didn't know about that. So I think yeah, pretty much I'm proud of my work here with you guys.
Yeah, it's been going great. I mean, we've been getting positive feedback. And I think
Yeah,
we're trying to maintain pop music alive. I mean, at least
yeah.
pop music from 20, 30 years ago. So, I think yeah, it's a contribution to the pop music out there.
Yeah, and
Yes.
this was the season one. We were discovering the format,
A
how
lot
we
of
want to do this.
things.
Like at the beginning, we are like talking about the biography, what they did year by year, like very kind of exhausting way that for us was the right one. Then we discovered that we should be more dynamic and make more like a conversation and our personal opinions. So everyone is a discovering. So it's good. And you, Mal, what do you feel about yourself in this
Yes,
podcast?
I think we've been improving so much. I think it's like a good this is like for fun, you know? But at the end of the day, there are people that really love this, you know, like
Yeah,
taking count that and love so much that their favorite artists
to
are
be
mentioned
mentioned.
by
Yes.
us. Yes. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's good. I think we are different too because there are other podcasts or videocasts with different content. So I think we are different. I think we have something different to offer, you know. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I think it's a good contribution. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. And what people should know is that this is for fun, but we are very committed to this. Like
Yes.
we have the day that we should meet at the hour, and we are always there, and we are always prepared to talk. And so we are very committed to this. Is not only
Yes,
Definitely.
fun.
yes.
We are
Totally,
serious
totally.
about
And
this.
for example, in the case of Luquitas, he is right now in Brazil. It is like a different hour, like later, you know. In the
Yeah.
case of Mariel, she has a daughter and a husband and a home, you know. And in my case, I have to like figure out how I have time for my work because sometimes I'm flying and I'm in other places.
Yeah.
So yes, it's very important for us to do this
Yeah.
because
We want
we
to do
We
this.
enjoy it.
Yes.
always,
We
yes,
This is
enjoy
because
the
it.
best part.
we always find a
Yes.
Yeah.
moment to do it like
Yes,
every
we're
week.
doing
So
it not
yes,
only because we love
Yes,
it,
that's
because
it.
we also want to bring something different for our audience. And we are
yes,
very grateful with all the comments and all the feedback we've been getting from every one of you. So thank you so much for the support.
yes.
Yes, it's
Lucas,
true.
next question.
Okay, guys, let me see. Well, this is different. This is from my friend, Tiago Bezerra. Actually, he's a new friend. I just met him in
Okay.
Vanessa's concert a few weeks ago. And he loves music. And actually, he was very surprised that we did an episode about Stacey Rico.
Mm.
And
Oh,
he told me that, oh my God, I used to love Stuck and I never heard about her anymore. I will listen, I will watch you guys talking about her. So it was very cool. Thank you, Tiago, my new friend. And he asked if we think that Britney should come back to the music after everything that happens to her. Well, for me, it's kind of trick because if something that came from her, yes, because I believe that music can heal people, and maybe if she's surrounded in a good place with good people creating something that came from the heart and that she wants to do, that's okay. But if it's like the label saying you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you need to put out a new album, and it's something that her mind is not anymore, like she's not into this anymore, I think it's best that she lives her life. She's not owing anything to the fans. She already gave us so many years of good music. Um, so for me, can be good, but depends of her what she wants.
I
What do you
agree.
think, Marielle?
I definitely agree. I think that it should be something that she decides, not pushed by management or labels or whatever. It's something that she should say, okay, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
going to do my comeback and I'm going to do it my way. So that's how it should
Yes.
be done. Now I think she's not in a good place. Like emotionally, I think she's going through a lot. She's getting
Yeah.
divorced. Um, she's still struggling with all the things that happened with her dad. So I think that she should find peace first, and if she wants to do a comeback, she should do it, but in her own terms.
Yeah. Exactly. And you, Mal?
yes. First of all, I think she needs help, you know, being surrounded by people that love her and care about her in a very sincere way, you know. First of all, this is the most important thing. And then, like you said, guys, if she decides to come back like in her own terms, it's okay. Not not like people obligated her to do something that she doesn't want to do, you know?
Yeah.
Like because all the time she has living this life, you know, like being pushed like to make things that maybe she didn't want in the past. So
Yeah.
so it's sad because I don't follow her in Instagram, not because I don't like her content, it's because like I'm not like a huge fan, but I'm a fan. And I perceive her content is very sad to see a wonderful, great, amazing queen in this situation right now, because I
Yes.
think she is like for us guys, and I know you are agree, like the definition of everything. Like she
Yeah.
was the definition of our
She's the
childhood,
pop.
of
Yes.
our adolescent. Yes, it was because of her. Like we have other kind of singers, so she was like everything. She was the beginning of
Yeah.
everything. So it's very sad to have this amazing idol that she was for us in
Yeah.
this position and in this situation. So yes,
And some people is still saying like, oh, let her do this, let her make her posts, she's free now. But I don't think she's okay. I don't think she knows
no,
what
she
she's
needs
doing
help.
after
No,
all. Because for me it's not even about she's naked or she's dancing, it's not about this, but
no,
it's about
Yes.
her eye is empty, she's not there. So when you see someone doing something so sexy like she's doing, but there's nothing in their eyes,
Yes.
looks
Empty.
weird, looks wrong, I don't know.
it's like a
Yes. It's
hollow, you know. Yes,
Yes, and when she talks do not sound like her anymore. So
no,
for sure I think she needs to be really better, not only free, because I don't
no.
even believe that she's free. So
Okay.
that's
yes.
it. Let's
Now,
move on for the next.
Yeah, well, moving on to another topic, very different. Favorite food, guys. Well,
Favorite.
for me, I love Colombian food. Actually, I love the food from my country, so I think bandeja paisa is one of my favorites. Ajiaco, that is a soup from Bogota, and the bandeja paisa is from Medellin. I love this kind of food, you know. And talking about another country, or I love Cuban food too. I love pasta too. So, and I love this kind
You
you
of
love
love
food
food.
now. We know.
yes, I love
You
food.
love
I love
everything.
food. Yes, 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 yes. So moving on, only
Well, if
Mariel.
it comes to Mexico, I obviously love a lot of the dishes, but I think yes, cochinita pibil is my favorite because well, it's a
No,
very
well,
traditional dish from the state of Yucatan. It's made out of pork.
mm,
It's made out of pork. I
delicious.
cooked it for Mao when he came.
Yes, yes, I was forgetting, but of course, Cochinita Pibil
Yes,
is one of my
you're
favorites.
going to
So,
love it,
so
Lucas.
and the Mariels, the Mariels
Okay.
Oh,
was great because
But
the first time I tried in a restaurant, but the Mariels was like
oh, thank
the
you.
best because it was very good. Like it was
Homemade
home
and well,
made, you know,
my
so it was
okay.
delicious.
What is
it's
this
made out
thing?
of
Is
pork
like
with a special
Pork, yes.
oh, okay.
it's spices. It's called achote here in Mexico. It's red. So
Okay.
it's really difficult to describe because some of those spices are not worldwide known, but you mix it with
Okay.
purple onion and some salsa, some habanero salsa. So and you get your taco, and it's like yay. So I have the original recipe
Okay.
It's
because my grandma was from the state of Yucatan. So yes,
oh, that's
I
the
know.
reason it's
Yeah.
so
Oh,
delicious, the one that you
thank you.
prepared.
Yes, that's my
Yes.
favorite. And internationally, I love Japanese and Lebanese food. I love the
No.
Lebanese food. It's like oh my God, I can't stop eating. So you have to tell me you know what,
Oh.
stop it because you're gonna get sick. Yes. And you, Lucas.
Oh. Well, I don't eat meat
Oh
and chicken. I don't
no,
know if
I
I ever
didn't know.
mentioned this. So it will be impossible for me to try this thing
Oh,
with
I
Yes,
pork.
didn't know
I
that.
know, I know.
Mm,
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. But I do eat
okay.
fish. So the name for this is
Mm-hmm.
pescetariano in Portuguese. I think in English is kind of similar. So my favorite food. Are you guys listening to the cat screaming?
It's a cat.
It's a
Okay.
There's
cat?
It's not mine. It's on the street, but he's like
Okay.
begging for sex or something. Uh,
Yes.
yeah. So moving on, my favorite is Japanese because I do love fish, shrimp, and actually now I discovered that I really love
Okay.
Thailand
Mm-hmm.
food too. It's very similar, but there's more spice in there. So definitely my favorite. And I'm addicted in things made of
Oh,
pistachio.
okay.
You know,
Mm. Oh,
so
yeah, yeah.
if you
Like
guys
ice
see
cream.
in my Instagram, there's always something made of pistachio because people discover that I love, and everyone send me places to go. Oh, you should go in there. There's
Okay.
this thing made of pistachio. So I'm always discovering. And there's another thing here in Brazil that we say goiabada that I don't know. Mal in Colombia, what is the dulcecito that you gave me?
Guayaba?
Guayaba,
Yes,
yes.
bocadillo.
Yes, I
Yes.
love everything made of this, and
And
it
dulcecito.
are my
Oh,
thing. Fish, goiabada,
okay.
and pistachio.
Okay, great. To have it in mind when you come here.
Yes, yes. It's yes,
Okay.
it's great because Maria loves Japanese food and you love too, so we have
Oh,
to go
yeah.
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
Japanese restaurant there
But
in Mexico.
I'm very
Yes?
open. I'm very open to food except meat and chicken. Uh, but
Even when it's
I
pork, friend?
even when it's pork, yeah. But I love to
Okay.
try
Okay.
different
Yeah,
food.
well, I had to think
But
about it. So, yes.
sometimes it's not possible.
Great.
Yes,
Okay.
Next
yes.
question. This one comes from my personal Instagram from Mariel Talks Pop. This is by Forever Brats. Thank you, my friend. You always follow. Who was the first artist you got into? For me, it's easy. It was the Spice Girls. Lucas?
I think it is the same. I think it was the Spice Girls. Besides the Brazilian singer for
And you,
kids, for
Mal?
sure.
For me was
Okay.
J-Lo, actually. For me it was J-Lo. Before Stacy, it was J-Lo. I was a huge fan of J-Lo when the first time I watched Love Don't Cost a Thing, I was addicted. Like this woman was a
Mm.
A
goddess
great
for me. So yeah,
figures.
the first time
Okay,
was J-Lo.
great. Next question,
Yes.
Lucas.
Okay, the next question was made for my friend Bruno Italo. He asked us what the new artist could learn with the past, like the past pop stars. You know, the new artists, what they can learn about with the artists that we know in the past. But for me, uh, I think there's two things, like two different sides. They can learn that they should be free because we know so many stories of labels asking and telling what they should sound and things like this. So I think the artists now can be more free to do their own thing. At least the independent ones, that is easier to be on YouTube and Spotify and everything. But I think what they could learn also is excellence because there's no many artists that we can see now that are spectacular. I think there's no artist now like Britney, like Christina, like Whitney Houston, like Celine Dion. So I think people should try to be excellent on this again. That is something that I miss, and they could learn about the past. What do you think, Marielle?
Think they should learn, at least from the artists that I know, that they should be faithful to what they love and not try to please specific audiences just to earn more money. I mean, if you love what you do and if you are happy with the way you're doing it, stay in that lane. At least that's something that I have learned from Jason Ross, who you know is he's my favorite male singer. He says, I'm not doing music to please the nowadays target. I'm doing music because I like it, because I love the way I write things, the way I produce, because this is the way I've been doing music for the past years, and so that's what someone should do.
Yes.
You know, like stay in your lane, and if it's something that you love, be
Be
authentic. Yeah,
authentic.
don't
Yes.
don't worry about what others will say. If you like what you do it.
Yes. There's a song by Colton Dixon, a Christian singer that I like, that very is makes very sense to me, and I actually want to make a tattoo with his lyrics there. He said, "I refuse to gain the world and lose my soul." I know that he's talking about in more Christian way, like the
Yeah,
Bible and things,
spiritual way,
but it
yes.
makes sense with music for me because people are always saying to me like, "You should sing sertanejo here in Brazil," because of course I would be working more with music,
I
but
would think.
I cannot
Mhm.
sell my passion, you know. I do music as my way to express things that are inside of me, so I stick with that. So I agree with you, Mariel. What do you think, Mauricio?
I think they should learn about how not please the labels, because we are living now times that for artists it's maybe easier, like you said, Luquitas, like being on YouTube and and getting to people, like it was not like in those days, like it was very difficult for them and they needed a label or something like that. So today is
Radio.
more,
Yeah.
today it's easier, yeah. So I think they should learn about that. Like, it doesn't matter if the label is not in agree with that, because sometimes in the past I perceived that it was like, if you don't do this, it was like, we fired you or something like that. And for example, people like Britney or that were such a big icons, it was not good for the label, so it was more like a threat for me, like all that it was real, so you could be like an artist without a label. You don't need it nowadays, I think. And if you have a contract with the label and you have this opportunity, don't go like, oh, don't follow all the label orders, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because after all, the things are not that different now because we have the sense that internet has their own uh, thoughts, so they decide who's making uh, great in music, but it's not really like this. The labels is still putting a lot of money, so a lot of
Yes.
songs that you are seeing at the top of the charts on Spotify is because there's so many money in there. So
Behind
there's so
that,
many
yes.
artists without voice and doing great things. So the challenge, I think, for everyone, even for us that are we are super open, but we can dig it on online so much and find so many good treasures that no one is listening. So people should try to do this more and not be like on top hits on Spotify because
Yes,
it's money.
definitely.
It's money.
It's
Again,
money. At the end of the day, it's money.
Definitely.
Yes,
Next
it's true.
question, Mal.
yes.
Next question, guys. Favorite TV show or series?
No, this one's
Oh, this
easy.
is so hard for me to choose.
Uh, well, for me, is favorite series Empire is my favorite.
Oh yeah, the one from the yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I'm
Empire.
thinking I watched it too because of you. I watch it because of you.
Yeah. Did you
Not yet.
finish, Mariel? Did
I
you
need
finish?
to.
No. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
because
okay.
it's all
But yes,
R&B.
Empire.
I know.
Yes, and yes, and a little bit of
Yes.
drama and stuff.
Um,
So yes. What about
my
you
favorite
guys,
forever is going to
Mariel?
be Dark Angel with Jessica Alba. You know that,
Oh,
and The Sopranos. I could live with those two forever.
oh,
Yes,
yes,
they're so
like it.
too different from each
What
other,
about
Yeah.
but
you,
I
Luquitas?
mean,
Yes,
Yeah.
but
very
The
different. Yes,
Sopranos is
yes,
definitely
yes.
one of the best TV shows ever created. I mean, it's amazing. So, and Dark Angel is more like a personal thing.
Yes.
And you,
Yeah.
Lucas?
Well, for me, it's super hard because I watch a lot of things. Like I'm always watching something. I do love TV shows. Since I was a kid, I'm very obsessed. So I think I watched so many that I adore for so many different reasons that I just can choose. But to choose one, I will go with something kind of similar to Marielle, that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Uh, because I think it's a show that goes a little beyond the show for me. I'm a little obsessed with the image of Buffy. Like, I love T-shirts. I like things with her. Like my screen saver in the computer is Buffy, so it is beyond the watching because I just watch it once, everything. I'm not a person who watches series again and again and again. I want to see new things, but this one I think is iconic. I don't know. I do like so much.
Yes. Now,
Great.
next.
Yes.
Me
I never
neither.
watched Buffy.
No,
No, I have to watch it. Right now, it's in any platform?
I think I saw it.
it is on. I don't know if it's HBO Plus or Star
I think yes,
Plus.
it's
I think
Star
it's Star
Plus.
Plus.
Okay,
Hmm.
I
One
have.
of them. Yes,
Okay, I
because I'm
have to watch
watching
it.
Yes, because I
Angel
was by
on Star
Plus.
Plus, and
So
it's
yes, that was yeah.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
Next
yeah.
question.
Mariel.
This one comes from Christo Buckley, our friend. Hello, Christo Buckley. You are going to be invited soon to the podcast. What's your favorite
Yes.
early
Yeah.
2000s CD based on visuals? Why do you make us these kind of questions?
Oh, this is
Main
hard.
on
Visuals.
visuals. Okay.
In visuals, he
Yeah, you
2000s.
means
know
like the
the whole
cover, the
package
photos,
of
or
the
the music.
album. So
Okay, okay, okay. The early 2000s, my
dang.
favorite would be. Oh, I know,
Early
I know.
Early
2000s of the
2000s.
2000s.
Because we know
Oh,
Crystal loves
even
early
Okay,
more
for
than.
2000s.
me,
So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, it's Pretty Pig by Christina
Okay.
Aguilera, 2002,
Mm-hmm.
early 2000s. Okay, I love everything about the CD. The cover, the photos inside, how she looks, the eyes very dark, very black, and everything. And there's the last page, a lot of little pictures. And I remember I used to be like really paying attention on each picture in there that she was on the studio, and this is very special for
Okay,
me.
yes. And this is an album with a lot of visuals, like different looks by her and stuff like that.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes, good option, my friend. It's very hard.
Thinking.
Mariel, do you have
I'm
your
thinking.
answer?
Maria was thinking.
You know what? I love the whole Jessica Simpson's Irresistible. The whole photos she
Okay.
took
Yeah,
because she looked a
it's
little bit more
beautiful too.
mature than what she did on Sweet Kisses. So the way they
Yeah,
try to portray her, like being all fresh and sassy songs. The whole concept of the album is good. The whole
yes.
videos she did. Mm-hmm.
She
So if
looks
we
beautiful.
the hair,
Yes.
yes. So
The
I think that
hair.
one, and maybe it's S Club 7's Seven album and Sunshine. Those albums too have very nice visuals. And you, Mao?
Okay.
Okay. I go with Aaliyah,
Mm-hmm.
the Red
Mm-hmm.
album, the album that is called Aaliyah, the self-titled. I love how she looks there.
Mm-hmm.
She looks stunning. You, sorry, it was like a very important moment in her career before of her passing. So it was like I think with this album she exploded. Like the visuals are very interesting because it's all red and the poses. She looks very confident. She was a queen. So yeah,
Okay,
I
great.
go with Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Lucas, next question.
Okay, the next one is from my friend
Okay.
Diego Crivari. Hey, Diego
Oh,
loves to watch us, and he loves to
Uh,
see me speak in English because we used to work together, and sometimes he was singing in like very weird English, and I was always making jokes like, "Oh, go take a class of English. You should learn." And so it was a joke between us. And he loves to speak English, but he speaks like the guy who presents awards, like, "So now
oh,
it's Marielle."
okay,
He
okay.
speaks like this. He's an
okay.
actor, so he's something in him, but it's very funny. And he loves to see me
Hey,
speak
Diego.
English. So, hey, Diego, I know that you are watching. And
Hi,
he's very
Diego.
fan, huge fan, like huge fan of Michael Jackson. He calls Michael Jackson
Okay.
Milord, like
Oh,
Yes.
so very
yeah,
fan.
yeah, yeah.
And he wants to know our top three songs by Michael Jackson.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, so I think I know. I'll go first because for me, my favorite is
Okay.
"Scream" with Janet Jackson.
Yeah,
I do love the song so much. The other one that I do love by Michael Jackson is "Smooth Criminal."
yeah,
So good. And the other one
yeah.
is "They Don't Care About
Song.
Us."
I
That
love
is
that.
very
Oh,
Brazilian. Actually,
yes. It was
he made a
filmed
video here
in
in Brazil.
Brazil. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, so good the song. So for me, and you
yeah.
guys, someone know already?
Yes, I know. For me, it's easy.
Okay, go Mal.
Yes, The Way You Make Me Feel first. I love this song. I love the video. Second would be Man in the Mirror. I love it. It's very soulful. I love that song.
Beautiful.
And third would be
Oh,
Dirty Diana.
I
It's
love
an
that song.
Oh,
energetic,
Yes.
powerful
yes.
song. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
very
yeah, it
rock
would
and
be.
roll, the guitars and
Yes,
everything.
and the passion and the power that
Yes, the
Michael is
emotion,
singing the song, this motion. Yes, I love it, love it. So yeah, The Way You
iconic.
Make Me Feel, Man
Yes,
in the Mirror, and Dirty Diana.
The
Yeah.
way
What
yes.
about
And
you,
you,
Dirty
Maria?
Maria?
Diana and The Man in the Mirror are part of Beth. Yes. That
But
album is fantastic. I
of
mean,
the Bad album, yes.
Michael Jackson has amazing
Yes.
discography, but my favorites, because
Oh,
like I
yes.
mentioned, I grew up listening to the Off the Wall album, would be Rock with You. I
Yeah.
wanna rock with you. Yeah.
Ah,
Um,
with you.
Yeah,
another rock. You Rock My World from his Invincible album.
Ah,
And the video,
yes, love it.
I
so
love
good.
it
Very
because there's
R&B.
Marlon Brando. So,
The,
um,
yeah,
and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I hate this. The Song of the Wall. So tonight, gonna leave a fire
Okay.
on your soul.
Yeah.
Yes, very
Oh,
80s because
very
I told you
80s.
I grew up listening to that
Yeah.
album, so it is always there in my
To
mind.
this
Yeah.
album, yes.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
And
it's
Yes.
part
now
of
next
the.
question. Mau?
Favorite musical.
Easy, easy.
Uh,
That's the sound,
Go ahead, Miss
the
Mariel,
sound
because
of
for me
music.
it's very difficult.
And because that's where I chose the name for
Okay,
my
okay.
daughter. They sing the song Edelweiss.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
yes, easy.
yes. Easy, very easy. Yes.
Yes, it can be a
What
movie
about
or
you?
just a play.
I think a movie because, yes, a
Yeah,
play is difficult for me.
I love so many, but I think that one. I think is the greatest show. The name.
The
With
Greatest
Hugh Jackman?
Showman
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
with Hugh
yes.
Jackman
This
and
one.
Zendaya.
I don't know. I saw it and it was everything so beautiful. And it's not very common for me to watch something like this, and very deep. And I felt that way with this movie. I think it's brilliant. The songs are beautiful.
And
I do
yours,
love so
Mau?
much.
I'm thinking because for me it's very difficult because I'm not so into this kind of
You can say High
maybe.
School Musical. No one would judge you.
Yeah, actually, I was
Okay.
thinking in Glee.
It's musical.
Yeah,
Yes,
great.
yes, because I watched the whole series Glee.
Okay.
So yes,
Glee.
yes,
Great.
Glee it would be.
Yeah, Glee.
Yes, Glee.
Okay.
Yes.
It's Glee.
The next question comes from, well, this is a little personal. I'm gonna answer it real quick. It's from Brittany Benatar, one of my followers.
Okay.
She says, "Do you ever plan on posting new content on your Pop Rush channel?" I'm trying to be real honest. I stopped posting there because, well, as you know, I'm a mom and I don't have as much time as I would like to. So I'm dedicating more of my time to the Mariel Talks Pop channel because it has the chance of getting monetized. And Pop Rush, they told me it's not because of the copyrights and stuff. So I'm focusing more on the Mariel Talks Pop, but I'm going to post a lot of pop stuff there. So you guys can check it. I mean, I'm doing mini bios and giving my opinion on different albums and stuff, and there's the interviews. So yeah, I'm a little focused on the Mariel Talks Pop more than Pop Rush, but it's not closed forever. So give me a break.
Yeah.
I will probably get it back soon. But that's it. And now
Yeah,
a
it's
general
Okay.
fair.
question for us from Schleiner 2.0. I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. Is there any artist you don't listen anymore? I think this one is pretty similar to the one we've already said, but
Yeah,
probably there are artists that I don't follow their career anymore because of the way or the genre they are moving into. So probably like we were mentioning before we start the video, it could be Shakira because I don't like I like her music, but
Yeah.
I don't like her recent work, so I don't listen to what she's doing now anymore. Probably that answers your question, and I don't
yeah,
know, guys.
Okay. Yes,
yeah.
maybe.
I don't think that happens to me because I always try to listen new things about everyone that I used to listen back then. Uh, so even that I don't like anymore, I always give a chance for the new releases. So
Okay,
I
and
cannot
Yuma?
think about anyone.
Okay. I think Lady Gaga, when Lady Gaga came out, I when she debuted, I was like a fan. Like I like it so much her music, and then I was more focused on R&B music, so I stopped listening to her music. I think
Yeah,
yes, but it's good. Sometimes I play different songs by her. It's okay, but
yeah,
actually a lot of pop singers. When I was very focused on R&B music, I stopped listening different kind of people that I used to love. For example, Christina Aguilera. But
okay.
now I'm listening her because of you. So yes, yes.
That happened to me with Ariana Grande. Now I think one.
Oh,
Because
okay.
when she released it at first, I love it. I used to buy the albums physically, and suddenly I was not enjoying anymore. So I barely listen to her now. But if she releases
Okay.
new thing, I always try it. That's why I cannot say that I stop it to listen. I'm
Okay.
just not a huge
Okay.
fan anymore.
Lucas?
Okay, so Michelle asked our top three
That's okay.
concerts ever.
Mm,
This is so difficult. I was thinking uh, it's very hard because concerts uh, is something that I proudly spend money. Like is the time of my life to be in a concert. I really enjoy it, the whole thing. So I had the chance to see like huge artists like Madonna, Queen, and Britney
Oh,
Spears and Selena Gomez. I saw so many good and amazing concerts. Pet Shop Boys, concerts that I never thought that I would see, and I really enjoy it. But to make a top three for me would be the Spice Girls, of course, because of everything that I always mention here, all the trip to UK and everything. At the same year, we had the reunion of Sandy Jr., so it was very special for me too, those concerts. And then number three for me would be Kelly Clarkson, because I watched so many concerts, and uh, she was the one that she's enough at the stage. Like she was there with a very simple outfit, only the band, and it was insane how good the concert was. And she was so emotional because she was not expecting for Brazilian people to sing all the lyrics. And I remember that she started the concert with Dark Side. That was not like a huge hit like the other tracks. And people were singing so loud that she was like, what's going
I
on?
can't
And she
believe it.
cried. So it was very beautiful. And she's always mentioned this concert. So, and at the same night, I saw Jennifer Lopez, and
Oh,
you guys can imagine that she's amazing, of course, but it was full of things, the concert, like dancers and like things exploding and a lot of lights, and even with all of those things, Kelly Clarkson was biggest concert of the night.
That's
So this is
awesome.
special.
Oh, okay. It
Yes.
was like the same. It was like the same, Luquitas. Like in
It
the
was a
same
festival.
concert was
Yes,
J-Lo and Kelly
Mm.
Clarkson.
it was a festival that we had here called Pop Festival.
What
Oh
a
wow.
festival! What a festival!
Amazing. Kelly
Wow.
Clarkson, Paris Hilton
Okay.
was there as a DJ.
Okay. Oh
Um,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Cobra Starship, Kelly Clarkson, Michel Teló, that is
Okay.
Brazilian.
Oh yeah.
Ai, se eu te
Is it
pego. Ai,
fun?
se eu
And
te
yours, Mal?
pego.
Yeah. For me, like I, like you guys, I didn't have the chance to attend to so
Mm-hmm.
many concerts in the past, like because here in Colombia it's not common that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
artists come. But in the recent years, it is like better for us. So first of all, I would go with the reunited CCM because it was Stacy Rico, and I
Yeah.
was in the first line. Like I had this poster. I had the opportunity to talk to her. It was like perfection. That night was like the perfect night for me. She was very kind. Okay, it was like a dream come true. Second, it would be Lovers and Friends, the festival that I had the opportunity to go last year in Las Vegas. It was really good, and I had the opportunity to enjoy a lot of artists. Like this is the advantage of the festival, like Ashanti, Ciara, Usher, Neo, a different kind of singers, and a lot of my idols singing in the same day. So it was really really great. And in the third place, I go with Alicia Keys, the concert here in Bogota. It was very special because it's not common to see an artist coming to Colombia, and of course not an R&B or soul artist. So it was very special because she included Colombia because it was not included at first. So she included Colombia, she included Bogota, and it
Oh,
was
that's
very
lovely.
very special. Yeah.
And I think about which ones did I enjoy the most. I gotta say Jason Mraz is my number one because
Of
he
course.
was doing the tour for We Sing, We Dance, We Still Things. And I was going through a very mm, rough patch in my life because I was just finishing up a relationship, and Jason's music brought me back to life. So when he announced he was coming, I
Oh,
told my dad I want to come with me, and my dad loves him too, so he's like, yeah, sure. So we had a great time, and Jason was fantastic. Um, Second would be the Electric Light Orchestra. I also it was a double concert because it was
No.
the Electric
oh,
Light Orchestra and Alan Parsons Project. So I enjoyed that concert like never in my life. I went with my dad as well. We had a blast. We ended up all
of
sweaty
course.
because we were standing. And we ended up, like with our boys of the screams and stuff. But it was great seeing these idols that my dad grew up with, seeing them years later, and the music that I grew up with too. So it was great. And the third, dang, it
Very
would be
Yes.
special.
Jeans, their deja vu concert when they made a comeback
Of
after
course.
years of being away. I won the tickets. I was looking so bad to win those tickets. I wanted to be there so bad. And when I finally got them, I was like so excited, and I could be there and really close to them. And I couldn't stop crying the whole concert because it was so emotional to see them going back on stage singing songs that I grew up with. So yeah,
Yeah,
those would be my
together
three.
again.
Yes, those would be my
I
top
know
three.
the feeling, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
totally.
And you, Mao?
Great.
Next question.
Next question. Favorite Latin CCM artist? I
Wow,
don't
very
know
specific.
if you have a one. Well, maybe Luquitas because Mariel, maybe. I don't know.
Jackie
So,
Velasquez.
okay. It was easy.
Yeah.
For me, I used to listen a lot of Latin CCM artists when I was a kid, of course, because I grew up in a Christian environment. But I would say maybe Lily Goodman. I love her voice so much, and he was like an important part of this moment in my life. So I would say
Yeah.
her. Yes, Lily Goodman. What about
Lily
you?
Good.
Um,
Lily
it's
Goodman. Yes, she's
yeah, she's
from
good.
Dominican
She's good.
Republic.
Oh, okay.
Um, it's difficult because I'm not really familiar with Latin CCM artists. But I do, like Lucas said, I think Jackie Velasquez should be one, and Marcus Witt. Yes, he sang with Crystal,
Okay,
so yeah.
of course.
So that's it. I don't
Yes,
know
yes,
more.
yes.
Yeah. Palomas
Palomas
en
en
el
el cielo,
cielo
yes.
is here again.
Palomas en el
There's
cielo.
Okay,
always
Yes,
part
yes,
of
yes.
this. Yes.
let me check. This question is by our guy
Next.
Adrian. Well, he was asking this to me, but I think
Okay.
Mau can also answer it. I'm not really sure about Lucas. I want to know what was the first
Okay.
Crystal Lewis song you heard in your favorite Crystal Lewis album. The first Crystal Lewis song I heard was People Get Ready, Jesus is Coming, which is a hymn for me. And that album, Beautiful Ashes, is my favorite Crystal Lewis album. Love it. And you, Mao? I'm not really sure if Lucas wants to answer this one.
About Lucas, yes. Well, Crystal Lewis was the queen here in Colombia, and because I was like in this Christian world, it was like she was like Madonna, but in the Christian world, like the Christian radio station where was playing her songs all the time, and she was like the reference, like my mom was always talking about Crystal Lewis. She was like the reference. So for me, I think the first song was Now I Live. Yes, was Now I Live.
From her
I was
first
like four
records,
or
yes.
five, I remember. Yes, 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 yes. It was like huge. And my favorite record now that I'm more into her music now is Fearless. I love this album so much. Because to be honest, and Adrian knows that, to be honest, in that moment I was not a fan of her, to be honest, because she was like, I consider her like more for adults, and this kind of music for me as a kid, of course, I was listening the radio, but at the same time, it was like okay. But suddenly, like after all of this time, I was like, okay, I love this song. I love No Soy Igual and a lot of different songs. And now that I'm more
Okay.
into her music, so it's Fearless for sure. What about you,
No
Luquitas?
answer.
Do
Um,
Next
you
question.
no?
move on.
You
Move
don't
on.
have
Move on.
any. Yes.
No.
Keep on
Crystal.
trying. Keep on trying listening to Crystal.
I'm
Okay.
trying. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Um, your
I'm
next
trying. I'm trying.
question.
Okay, friends. Would you like to live in another country? Why? Which country and
Oh,
why?
You know
What
what?
go,
about you,
Marielle.
I love my country. I love Mexico. Um, thank God we are not in a war or having, famine trouble or something like that. So I'm very thankful and blessed to live here in Mexico. Um, I used to believe that living in the US was going to be like, wow, but no, I don't, you know,
Not so much.
I don't agree with a lot of things they do. So, yeah,
That
no,
happened.
no other country but me, Mexico, because I'm very proud of my roots and how
Okay,
we are
okay.
so familiar. We are always close in here, so no, I don't see myself living anywhere else. What about you guys?
Okay, okay. Look at this.
Um, I think I would because I'm a person that I can adjust myself in different situations, but I think I have to try different places. Just because I have this idea of places is not enough, because the only countries that I know besides Brazil are Argentina. That is, for me, Buenos Aires is very similar to São Paulo. It's not that different. And UK, like London, was amazing, and I would spend more time that there easily. But I wish I could travel more and like live a little bit in here, a little bit in there, to kind of to know if I connected really somewhere else, because it's very easy for me to say Italy because it's the place my family is from, and it's the most easy for me to have the documentation and everything to go there. But I don't really know if I'm going to love. It's just
I
an
forgot to say,
idea.
I
It's
forgot to
weird.
mention something. If I
So
ever need to
let's hope.
escape Mexico for any reason, I would go to Kazakhstan because nobody knows Kazakhstan
Oh,
and nobody will
you
find
told
me
me
there.
once. Yes,
So
yes, you told me
nobody
once.
will actually ever stop thinking, "Oh, is
Yeah,
Mariel living in
Yeah,
Kazakhstan?" No.
yeah,
So and because I have always
no.
admired
yeah.
It's a
the
runaway,
Kazakhstan
actually.
culture, but to live there, I don't know because I don't know the country. But my Mexico stays number one.
Yeah.
And you, Mo?
Okay, okay, okay. Well, I'll I have to say this too. I love Colombia. I love my culture. I love my country, even with these kind of situations that everybody knows that thank God today and nowadays is different. The situation of my country is very different in comparison to 90s or 80s. But talking about like opportunities, because it's not, we are Latinos and Latin American people, it's not a secret that sometimes our opportunities are not the same, you know. So I love Bogota too, but at the same times I can't deny the problems that my city has. So maybe I would love to live like in Japan or South Korea or something like that, like in a place like that. But I love Colombia. I love Bogota, and I'm very, I feel very blessed because I have a house here. So yeah, I work here, and this city, my city, Bogota, gave me the opportunity to work in the Netherlands. So yes, it's not like because of that. It's because like talking about opportunities and talking about maybe like a different kind of life, like a better life, like in terms of
Comfortable.
transportation and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because
the
here
truth is
sometimes,
that
yes,
Latinos are always
It's no
struggling.
news.
Like, okay,
yes,
we have the privilege, we have home, we have food, which is very much compared to people, but we are always struggling to have things. Nothing comes
But we
easily
should be
for us.
grateful
That's the truth.
that we are
Yes.
not living in a
yes,
war
that's
or
the truth.
something like that. So, yes, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a
It's
Yes,
very
final
yes,
yeah.
yes,
question.
yes, yes.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead,
So I
Lucas.
have I have my question. Yeah.
Go
Now
ahead.
everyone. Mariel, so after this, please check
Okay,
if I
okay.
there's some question missing in the list because you are with the phone. Okay, but my question is if you guys can bring back to life an artist that passed away, who would be? Uh,
Easy,
Leah. For,
easy. So please, I think it's the
easy,
same
for
easy.
of me.
Aaliyah, yes, of course,
Okay.
Aaliyah. Of course, I have others, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Prince, of course. But in the case of Aaliyah, it was like she didn't have the opportunity to live a long life,
Oh
So
yeah.
she was very she was 22 when she died. So of course Aaliyah, and well,
Yeah.
Selena too. But for me is Aaliyah, no doubt.
It's a difficult
Yes.
Yeah.
one. I wasn't
And you,
expecting
Mariel?
that question.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just agree.
Interesting. Yes.
you go while I
You
think.
want me to go? Okay. I was about to say Whitney Houston, but Mao changed my mind because every time I think that I'm very curious to know what would be the next step for Aaliyah. Like,
Mm,
what was she released in 2003 that was a great year in music? Will she became bigger? Will she be the Beyonce? I don't know. So this is something that is always crossing my mind. So I think it's the same for me. Be Aaliyah.
oh wow, I like it.
I would bring
I
her back
like it.
because she also died very young. It was Karen Carpenter. She was so talented. She
Oh,
was one
yeah,
of
Hmm.
the what a voice. I mean, she
yeah.
had
What a
everything.
sweet
Unfortunately,
voice.
she fell into this food this bulimic and all this trouble with her health. But I think she had everything to become one of the biggest
Yeah.
singers out there, like the white Aretha Franklin, you know? She was like the opposite. So, yeah, Karen Carpenter. And I
Yeah.
grew up
Yeah.
listening to
Hmm.
her, so it would have been great to see what else she could offer to the world because she also died very young. So, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
for sure.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure.
The last question I have
I
here, because
agree. I
I still
agree.
have one more for you. Any anecdote recording the podcast? We have many.
We have many, yes.
I think for me
Oh
is the
yeah.
ghost of Marielle. Because I will explain to the audience. Sometimes Marielle had some issues with the computer and everything, and she froze it for us. Me and Mao could not see her anymore, but she could see us normally. So every time I had to edit the video, it was like me and Mao talking like, "Whoa, where's Marielle?" And she was like, "Hey guys, you can see me. You guys can see me. Oh, they can see me like a
And I'm
ghost."
probably
So
started
for me, it
cursing,
was
so
very
yes.
comic to see that.
In Spanish.
Yeah. In
That
Spanish,
was a
of
good
course,
one. That
it
was a
did.
good one. And you, Mao?
For me, at the beginning of the podcast, when we start like trying with the platforms, you remember, guys, that I was talking, but you can see
Yes.
me,
And we were like,
but you can hear me. Sorry,
Yeah,
that you can
at
hear
the
me.
beginning,
So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And we
So
were
you
like,
were like,
"Mhm."
yeah, yeah, and at
And
the end,
sometimes Mao asked
we were,
questions. We were listening,
yes.
and they were like, "Do you guys remember that?" And me and Maria were like,
so it was funny.
Yes. And I was sure that you could hear me very well. So it
Yeah,
"Yeah,
was very funny.
I
It was
can
very
say the
funny.
same. Those
yeah,
two were very funny and probably trying to record one episode like for 3 times and we couldn't manage because my part wasn't
Yes.
recorded or Mao couldn't be heard or something happened. So yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
yes.
that's something.
yeah." And I don't know, guys, but for me, it feels like it was
Yes,
so long
I
ago.
know. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same with you
Yeah,
guys,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
only
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah.
It's
3 months.
Three
been but it's
months,
been really
yes.
fun.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any final question?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have the final one. How is a day in your life?
Who goes first?
Oh, okay. I'll try to make a small resume of this.
Okay.
I woke up very late every day, like almost 11, and I start to work and I eat my lunch. I don't know, it's very simple. I go to the gym, I go to my vocal class once in a week, and I usually work until like 7 p.m. And then I spend time with my boyfriend, eating the dinner and watching a lot of TV. And I do love watch TV at night. Uh, Sometimes my boyfriend is already sleeping and I'm still watching. That's the reason why I woke up so late in the next day. But actually, it's something because of my work as a DJ too. Because I'm so used to be waking all night long that it's hard for me to go to bed early. But it's very simple. And once in every week I go to my parents' house to see them and also to work because the things of my store are there. Yeah, because I don't have the space here. So that's it, pretty much my life.
Well, now things are changed
What
a
about
bit
you, mi
because
Maria?
my daughter just started school, but usually I wake up at 7:30. She goes to school at 9, so we have like an hour to get ready to have breakfast, get changed, brush your teeth and stuff. And then I go to the gym. I usually go for an hour and a half to 2 hours. If I have the time, I like to go see my parents because they live a block away from where my daughter is in school. So we are very
Oh,
close.
that's good.
And I usually, do home stuff like, the meal cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. And when my daughter gets
The
back, well,
cleaning.
yes, we have to
Yes,
play with
every
her,
day.
do her homework, and, be with her in the afternoon, give her a bath, and then give her her dinner,
Yeah,
and then go to bed. So it's like um, a routine.
go to
And
the
when
bed.
once she's asleep, my husband and I love to watch TV too. So we like to choose movies or series and stuff because we like to be, like in peace, the two of us. So that's, yes, that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
And you,
it's
Mal?
important,
Well,
of
we know your
course.
life is kind of chaotic with your schedules.
Well, yes, well, I have two alternatives. So when I'm when it's my day off, I have a running session because I love running. So I every morning I wake up I think 8 or sometimes 7. I try to wake up early. Sometimes I'm very tired, so I sleep more, But I have my running session. When is my day off, I have my running session. I have my breakfast and I take a shower, or I go to Monserrate, that is very near from my house. That is a mountain that I like to climb. Like to it's like to walk till the top. So and when I'm working, so well, I get ready and I have like the privilege of have a transportation, like a shuttle transportation to the airport and through my house, to my house. So thank God. And it's like getting into the airport and look for the gate where the airplane is, and well, take the flight. And when it's like international, it's of course better because I have the opportunity to stay there. For example, when it's to Europe or to US, and when it's domestic flights, it's like go around. But sometimes I stay in some cities here in Colombia. So yeah, my work is good. Sometimes of course it's exhausting because I have to wake up very early, sometimes 3 a.m., sometimes 2 a.m. So it's exhausting, but at the same time it's very it's
It's
very
great,
it's very
Mal.
good. I like so much my job.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, now time to finish because I think
Mm.
we're done. I just want to ask you guys, what are your
Yes.
expectancies on next season?
Oh, yeah. Well, for me, I think it's something that we are talking for a long time, that have guests like people to join us and talk about the topics that we are thinking. I think we have so much more to talk in pop music, even with the same themes that we already did. We have more to talk, like the underrated girls. We can talk about the underrated boys. So I don't know. I expect to have more fun and bring
Yes.
people
Mal?
to join us in the conversations.
I think it's the same, Mariel. This is an idea that we all three have to have guesses, like to have other people involved in this project. Like it would be very good. I'm sure about it. So yes, and of course grow, like to have more viewers, to have more impact on
Yeah.
people. So of course it's like it's an achievement that we want to get, you know. So yeah, yeah, it's like that. But I think the one of the projects is like to have people
Yes, that's part of it. And
like a
obviously,
guest.
yeah, well,
Yes.
for me, it's
Yes.
the same, have more
What?
guests, have more fun, learn more from you guys, and keep learning from what we are experts,
Mhm.
like pop rock for Lucas, R&B for Mao, and if I can bring more information about underground pop music, it would be awesome. So, and dedicate
Absolutely.
more episodes to single artists, it would be great too. Yes. So thank
Oh,
you. Thank you for
yeah.
all of you
Yeah.
watching us this first season of Ready Set Pop. I hope you guys had fun with us during these 20 episodes. It's been really fun and challenging for us, but we've been enjoying it a lot. So thank you, Lucas. Thank you, Mao, for what you've been doing this past season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else you guys want to add?
Thank you, Marielle.
Thank you.
Um, I want to say something that I've been talking a lot in my Instagram, that I feel very proud of being a person that has ideas and uh, can give life to the ideas, because I feel that sometimes people are always talking like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I have this project, and nothing happens. And I try to do the opposite. So I need to thank you guys, because since the first time that I mentioned this idea for this podcast, you guys were like, okay, let's do this, and all in with me. And I think was very special. We had so many good moments. We cried, we laughed, we learned. Uh, there was so many good things. So I want to say thank you to you first, and to everyone who watched it or liked it or posted so far. I hope we have so much more in the next season, and we continue to grow. Maybe monetize the channel too would be amazing for us.
Yes.
Uh,
Mao?
Yeah.
so that's it. Thank you so much.
Well, first of all, thank you guys. This is like I once I said, like this is my favorite part of my weeks. You know, like all every week I'm expecting this moment with you because it's like talking about something that I really love, that is music. Talking with people that I love, that is you guys. So it's amazing to have this space. For this is always this is something that I always mention, but when I was a teenager or a kid, when I was a teenager, I didn't have the opportunity to share this with anybody because there was no one that loved the music that I used to love, that I love today. So when I finally found you, it was like, oh my God, they are like my soulmates, because
Mhm.
it's like an amazing experience to talk about and to learn. Because for me was like, okay, I know everything about music, but when I met Mariel, for example, it was like, okay, there are a bunch of different underground pop singers, and with Luquitas it was like the same, like, oh my God, he knows a lot of different things that I don't know. So it's about learning all the time with you, and it's
Yeah.
about love, and it's about like confidence, and a lot of things. So thank you guys, I love you, and this season has been an amazing time for me. Like it's my stop of that the last week was so stressful for me, but talking with you and doing this, it was like, okay, my moment of being relaxed, or being or feeling love, and yes,
A haven.
Yeah.
this is a
It's a
safest
haven.
place. This is like a
Yes.
safest space for me.
Well,
So
Indeed.
yes,
thank you
yes,
guys. Thanks
totally.
everyone for
So
watching. Don't
thank
forget
you
to
guys, love you.
subscribe and give us a big thumbs up and follow us on our Instagram at Ready Set Pop Pod. And be ready because we're set to pop the next season. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
See you next season.
Bye bye. See
Bye
you next
bye.
season.
See you next season.